hip width apart. Just wiggle your toes, scrunch up your toes, and draw up the arches underneath your feet. Soften the knees. Tuck the pelvis under. Pull in that pelvic floor now and take it 100%. Really pulling in and then drawing that TVA. So that, a bit like where your tummy button is, draw it back towards the spine. 100% we're pulling in. Lift up the rib cage. Take the shoulders back. Find the length at the back of the neck. Just breathing normally, so not holding that breath. Pull in that pelvic floor, that TVA. 100% we're going to hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then just take a nice slow release on that. Pelvic floor in, TVA in. Really drawing in, shoulders are relaxed. Don't hold the breath. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then take a slow release. And again, pulling in. 100%. So as much as you can, squeeze pelvic floor, TVA in. Try not to hold the breath. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And take that slow release. Take it down to 50% now. So the engagement is there on that pelvic floor and on that TVA. And we're going to hold it there. I'm just going to let somebody in. We're going to hold it there throughout the class. Hi, Joe. Joining us, we've just started. We've just done our engagements. We're lifting one arm up level with the shoulder. Ear down to shoulder. So we're taking that neck release. Holding that 50%, pulling in. Drawing and reaching out to the side. Recenter it, pulling in that core. Press down into the feet. Reach up with the hand up towards the sky. Take it all the way over for your side bend. Hand on hip for support. Am I freezing a little bit? I can see a little bit. I'm just gonna wait a little bit on some of the moves and then release. Other side, lift. Pulling in that pelvic floor, that TVA. Ear down to shoulder. Reaching out to the side. Take it up towards the sky. Hand on hip, take it over for your side bend. Press down into the feet, recenter it. And again, other side, lift. Ear down to shoulder. Reaching out to the side. Reach it up to the sky. Take it over into your side bend. And release. One more, other side. Reaching up. Ear down to shoulder. Reaching to the side. Feel the squeezes down the side. Recenter. Take the arm up towards the sky. Take it all the way over, hand on hip. Side bend. Pulling in that core, then recenter it. Now we're going to try it again. A little bit more flow, almost like a tree. So you can start by swaying the hips side to side. And then we're kind of going to go flow. So we're going to go over and then up and then over. Kind of like keep it moving and then just swaying. So it's something like going with the breeze here. Over and then up and then take it over. So I'm just giving you a little bit more dynamic here. So let it kind of flow. Ear down, lift it up. Take it over. Last one. Lift it up. Ear down. Reach it out. Take it up. Take it over. Quite a lot of coordination. It's quite different when you put in that sort of flow element. Okay. Standing still then. Palms facing back. Palms facing back. So your shoulders immediately drop forwards, right? Then we're going to twist, palms facing forwards, and then the shoulders squeeze back, right? And again. Palms facing back, shoulders drop forwards. Palms face forwards, squeeze the shoulders. And again. So just that nice little twist on the wrist here. And then take it back. Keep it going. Now notice what's happening with your pelvis and your hips. So try and stabilize your pelvis and your hips so we're not arching in the lower back. So shoulders forwards. As you take the shoulders back, try not to pelvic tilt and arch in the lower back. So it's kind of upper body that we're working with and shoulders. It's just that nice rotation in the shoulders and that squeeze on the shoulder blades. 2 more. Breathing in. Feel that squeeze with the shoulder blades. Breathing out. Shoulders can drop. Breathing in. Lift at the chest, filling it out with air. And breathing out. Take it down. Cactus the arms in. Trying to fit in the screen here. Go that way and then you've got the tree behind me. So just take one arm up onto your cactus. Other arm relaxed. Drop it forward so it's level with the shoulder and then reach it forwards. So reach it forwards, bring it back to cactus and lifting it back up. Drop it down. Reach it forwards. Pressing it back up to cactus. Drop it and reach. Now pay attention now to where the shoulder blades are. Shoulders are down and back. You're working at squeezing those shoulder blades just like you did when we took the shoulders back. And then think about this elbow. The elbow kind of really wants to drop. So then really think about the elbow being up level with your shoulder and the control. So when you drop it, it's up level with the shoulder. And then really work at that reach. So those fingertips reaching forwards whilst the shoulder blades are going back. So you're kind of working, the fingertips are working against the shoulder blades. Last one, taking it up, dropping it down, reaching it forwards, and then back. And then we're going to go on the other side. So first of all, lift one arm up level with that cactus shape. If you can see yourself in the screen, it's quite useful because you can actually see if that elbow is at level, right? You can see if you can get that nice right angle. And then drop, take it forwards and reach. Take it back, lifting it up. And immediately you can see, sometimes on these, if you're looking in the, if you can see yourself, you can just see whether you've got that right angle. Draw it back. Shoulders are going back. Fingertips are reaching forwards. Pressing back. Now pulling the core at the same time, tuck the tailbone under. Because we're concentrating on the shoulders, maybe you'll start arching in the lower back, losing the core maybe. So pulling in, TVA, pelvic floor. Keep working, taking the shoulder back, but the fingertips go forwards. 2 more. Really helps with the tension in the shoulders. And reach. Then just a really slow backstroke. So one arm up and over, and then the other arm up and over. And again, take this loose. So let the hips move here. Let the hips and the knee bend. So just kind of feel like you're loosening out shoulders after that last exercise. And you can almost brush the ear with the arm. So just like we're swimming here. If you're not used to swimming, that little finger turns and goes in first. Think about the shoulders rotating side to side and the hips get to move with that. And then pull in that pelvic floor and that TVA. Just 4 more. Big circles working with the backstroke. Then we're going to go to our scapular set. So take the shoulders down and back, just a little circle. Shoulders down and back. Tuck the elbows in. And then opening, taking the thumbs back into space. Take your scapular set. And maybe you feel like there's a little bit more space in there after what we've done with our single arm cactus. Reach forwards. So breathing out. Squeeze those elbows in. And you might feel that the rib cage is getting this nice little lift. Now notice when your rib cage lifts, you're still pulling in your core. So tuck your pelvis under. Pull in pelvic floor. Pull in TVA. So just for a bit of fun, is Find your scapula set, like you're holding your two trays, and then just turn around in a circle. And it's kind of this weird, I don't know why, it just feels a bit more difficult than normal. Then back around the other way. Then a couple more, just opening out. 3 more. Take the thumbs back. And 2, breathing out. And last one. Cross back arms now, so hold on to opposite elbows. Then lifting that up over the head. So we've done a bit of side bending. So we're going to do a bit more. So pull in the pelvic floor, pull in TVA and soften the knees. So bend the knees on this. Then we're just going to slowly side bend to one side. Then slowly bending the knees, you're going to bring those cross-back arms forwards. The head is heavy between the arms. Take it all the way round to the other side. And then slowly uncurl up the other side on the side bend. Then the other way around. So you start with your side bend, nice and slow, bend the knees. Pull in the core. Head is heavy, going down towards the mat. And then turn and lift back at the other side. Such a good full body move. Keep those knees nice and soft. Pressing into the mat with the feet. Scrunch up the toes. Draw up the arches. Last one, other way. Gentle on your side bend, softening the knees. Head heavy. Draw yourself up the other side. And then release. Just a gentle twist then. So just the arms going round to one side and then round to the other. So again, we're just loosening off. If you want a little bit more, just turn turn onto your toes so your hips get to twist in there too. Just turning the back foot as you twist. Notice what's happening with the eye gaze. So try not to look down. So looking forwards, but take it round the body. Pulling in that pelvic floor and that TVA. If you want a little bit more, arms going higher. Into that twist. It's like almost like a wood chop and a crossbody. Take the arms up higher. Keep the knees soft. 2 more. And then release. Into our squats then. So I'll show you sideways on. Bending the knees, reach the arms forwards. Take the hips back in space. Press down into the mat, squeeze glutes and lift. And then again. Coming down, stay nice and strong, squeeze glutes and lift. Taking low squats if you want, so try and really work on that space right at the bottom when you're in your squat, and then press out. And then again. 4 more. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to call it the twist squat challenge. Last one. So we're going to start at the top then. Arms up level with the shoulders. And we're going to take a twist at the top of the body. So draw a big rainbow. Show you again. Some of you work with that big rainbow. Take one arm back behind you. Recenter, other side. Draw a big rainbow up over the body. Back round to the middle. One more on this side. Big rainbow over. And back round. Halfway down. Show you front way. Halfway down. Halfway down in the squat. Halfway down in your squat. Halfway down. Elbow into knee. Take a big twist. One arm up towards the sky. Recenter. Elbow into knee. Other side. Big twist. 2 on each side. Halfway down. Upper body twists. Such a nice way to stretch out the chest. A bit lower now then. So coming down into that low squat, I'm going to go up onto my toes for this. Arms in front. You know what's going to come? It's that big rainbow. Reach it up and reach it over on that balance. Put in that twist. Up and over. Other side. Holding that balance, we're up on our toes. Up and over. Last one, nice and low on the squat then. So I've got my hands down on the mat. I can maybe nearly get my heels down. Last twist. One hand down on the mat, one hand reaching up in a really low squat. Switch it over, 2 on each side. Breathing out as you twist and as you stretch. Last one. And then slowly we're going to release all the way back up. That was my squat and twist challenge. Gonna take a balance now then, so just take a stride. Take a stride on the mat, hip width apart. And we're just gonna point the back toe, the back toes and the back foot, and just see if you can lift that foot up off the ground. So take your weight forwards over the knee. Soften the knee, don't lock the knee out. Then we're going to add in, so you might want to come a bit lower for this, and you might want to have your fingertips on the floor. It depends how you feel and how your hamstrings are feeling, and you might want to bend that front knee. And we're going to bring in those twists again. So lift one arm up towards the ceiling, press down in the mat, and then go to the other side. So what you can do to develop this is you can kind of lift those arms up off the mat and just have a go at penduluming. That's a new word. Pendulum the arms up, clap in the middle, other side. So not so much up on the twist. If you lift it slightly, you can just work with the pendulum. Clap in the middle, up at the side. Super strengthening eccentric hamstring work. Softening that front knee so don't lock it out, it's not super straight. Just 2 more, lift and lower. Last one, lift and lower. Brilliant. Over to the other side, so take your stride. Hip width, take the weight over that front foot. Squeeze the glute, work on the leg lift to begin with. And maybe you liked being really low, kind of in these pendulums. Or maybe you wanted to take more of a balance, so a little bit higher with your hands. Maybe like a foot off the floor, something like that. Scrunch up the toes, engage the arches underneath the feet. Lifting one up, level with the shoulder and lower. Lift. And lower. It's so interesting, isn't it? When we take a balance and then we start fiddling around with our arms, it's like, what is happening? And lift. And lower. Keep squeezing that back glute. 4 more, lift. Lower. Scrunching up those toes, pulling that pelvic floor. Use the glutes, they're a nice big muscle here. Lift. Lower. And lift. Lower, a little bit of a shake out. last one. I'm doing quite kind of hard moves on this one today. So a calf raise, so just take the weight onto one foot. And then just thinking about the pelvic floor pulling in, squeezing the glute. And then just literally a little centimeter lift up the heel. So it's balance again. And lower. Just work with really small lifts to start with. Just a tiny lift, engage the arch underneath the foot and lower. If you want to add in, lift a centimeter off, so just a tiny bit of engagement, and then take running arms. And again, it's super hard on the balance. You'll just be like all over the place. Right. Keep working with that pelvic floor, that TVA. Maybe you just want to work the lift and lower, is up to you. If you like challenging on that balance, engaging the calf muscle. Just those little running arms. Just drive the elbows back. Release, shake out that leg. Other side. To start with, maybe 4 just gentle calf raises. So put the weight over the front of the foot and just lift at the heel just a centimeter. Engage the glute, pull in the pelvic floor and lower. Think of it as a balance as well. Strengthening the arches underneath the feet. 2 more, just working with that calf raise. Keep pulling in and pulling up on the pelvic floor. It's all about those connections again, from the feet up to the pelvic floor, the glutes, the brain. And if you want to try it, lift just that centimeter, engage the arch. Then you've got those running arms. So we're bringing that connection in with the arms as well. You know, and it's interesting when we're running, when we're walking, well, what's happening with our shoulders. So if you're leaning back too much, this move is super hard. So if you want to lean back and try that, it's really hard. But if you gently let the shoulders dip forward slightly, you might find it helps with the balance. Last one, lift, a few little running arms in there. Pelvic, I was watching Jeanette. It looked like you were dancing then, Jeanette. Bit of a shake out. Great, we're going to all meet down in downward dog now, so I'll adjust my cameras ready. So find yourself and bring yourself down. Stretch out the backs of the legs. Here we go. Okay. Move that there. So pedal through your heels. Spread your fingers. Feel the stretch on the backs of the shoulders. Feel the stretch on the hamstrings, the calf muscles. If downward dog doesn't suit you, just find your puppy dog, right? Hips going up towards the sky. Chest goes towards your thighs. Biceps kind of spiral in towards each other. Big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, drift the shoulders forwards over the wrists to your plank position. So just a little bit of work here with the core. Slightly bend at the knees. Knees slowly touch the mat and then straighten the legs. So just a little tease. Pull in that pelvic floor. Pull in that TVA. Just bend. Just a little touch and straighten. Shoulders down away from ears. And thinking about the crown chakra, so try not to look down towards your knees. Look towards the front of your mat. So that nice long spine. 2 more, just that little bend. Straighten. Last one, bend. Straighten. Now, whichever you prefer, either straight with your legs, or if you prefer a bent, we're going to just go one more time with that twist. So lift one arm up, level, one arm up and reach it up towards the sky. So we're just working with the chest again. Press down on the other side. Still working with the pelvic floor, TVA. Now if you want the challenge, you got your legs straight. One arm up towards the sky. Coming down, switch it over. Also working with upper body strength. And lift, breathing out. And switch. And switch again, 2 more. Breathing out. Chest stretching. Last one. And release. We're going to bring that down onto all fours. Really standard way now of doing that swimming move. So we take right arm extend, left leg extend. And we're going to do for 8 times. Breathing out, lift and squeeze. Squeezing that left glute and lower. Breathing out, lift and squeeze. And lower. Think about that TVA, think about that pelvic floor. Keep going for 8 repeats. Breathing out, think about extending right through the fingertips. So that low handshake just gets lifted up level with the shoulder. So it's a really good glute activation. 3 more. Try not to hold the breath. And 2. And last one. Lowering down, we're going to simply switch sides. Right leg extends, left arm, low handshake. Squeeze that right glute, pull in pelvic floor TVA. Stabilize through those hips and that core. Lift and lower. So we're working with super long levers here because we've got that leg straight, the arm straight. So try not to bend that back knee. Breathing out, lift. Breathing in, lower. Keeping really still in those hips, really squeezing that glute. And lift. And lower. 4 more. Breathing out. And lower. Keep pulling in that TVA, belly button up towards the spine, lift. And lower. 2 more. And lift. And lower. Last one, and lift. And lower. Stepping the right leg forward is just a simple low lunge. So just a real simple hip flexor stretch. Let the hips here kind of sink a little bit. Let gravity let them sink. Pull in pelvic floor, pull in that TVA. If you want a little bit more, reaching up the right hand, a little bit of a side bend. So just take the right hand across the midline. So try not to really twist in the hips, so the hips stay square. And your chest and your shoulders, they're facing forwards. So try not to spiral in that twist. Big deep breath in. Release, and we're just going to simply switch sides. So left foot back, bring that right foot forwards. Find your hip flexor stretch to start with, maybe just hands on your knee, and let the hips sink down. Just watching everyone in the screen. Check you're pulling in pelvic floor on that TVA. If you want that little bit more, left arm up towards the sky, but keep facing forwards, and then just gently take it over the midline. Taking a big deep breath in, fill out the chest. Breathing out, we're going to release. Bringing it all the way down towards the floor, towards your mat. I just hope there's no snakes in the grass. And then going back to what we did in the warm-up, bring your arms down by your sides and take the palms up. Palms up. So your thumbs are by your side of your legs. Forehead down to the mat. Breathing out, lift. Then twist those palms around like we did in that warm-up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Turn them back round, palms are up, lower it down. And again, it's lift. Turn them round, just like we did in the warm-up, like the first kind of few moves. Turn it back round, bring it down. Now start to reconnect with that pelvic floor. So pull in the pelvic floor, pull in TVA as you do your lifts. And those little twists. And lower. 3 more, lift. Twist, and think about the crown of the head reaching forwards, the very top of your head. And lower. So as you go into your lift, you're thinking about lengthening through the spine. So it's like fingertips are taking you, going back towards your feet, but the crown of your head is reaching forwards. Last one, lift. Twist those wrists around. And then bring it back down. Then go to our swan dive. So cactus the arms off the mat, elbows level with shoulders. Hands level with elbows, eye gaze down. Pelvic floor engaged, breathing out, lift the head and shoulders, eye gaze down. And lower. So kind of working with the top of the spine here. Try and keep the chin tucked in so we're not kind of working with the neck. Don't let the neck do the move here. Breathing out left. And breathing in lower. If you want a bit more, then lifting up the arms. Breathing out left. Crown of the head again shines forwards. And lower. Pelvic floor engaged. Should have that length through the spine. Adding in and breathing out left. Breathing in, then breathing out, reaching forwards. Really work with that extension. And then back to your cactus, lower it down. 2 more. Breathing out left. Breathe in and then breathing out, reaching forwards. Think about length here through the spine. Back to cactus. Lower it down. Try and breathe out it through your extensions. Last one. Pelvic floor engaged. Back to that cactus. Lowering it down. Pressing into the mat. Lift up on all fours. Cat stretch it. Then lift the top of the back. Tuck the pelvis in. Tuck your tummy in. Chin to chest. Feel the space between the shoulder blades here. Spread the fingers. Take a couple of breaths here. Send the breath right between those shoulder blades. So from there we're going to go to our plank position. Elbows underneath your shoulders. We're going to try and hold plank for 1 whole minute. So it's just going to be a really stable hold. Elbows under shoulders. Oh, my cat's coming now. Here he comes. Elbows under shoulders, and we're going to start by lifting up the hips. So that front plank position. And if you want a little bit more, straightening one leg, straighten the other leg. So 1 whole minute, that's the challenge here. Shoulders down away from ears. Crown of head shining forwards. Focus on that TVA and that pelvic floor. Try not to hold the breath. I just had a tick on my mat. All the wonders of the outdoors. Keep pulling in TVA, keep pulling in pelvic floor. Try not to hold the breath. Halfway. Really thinking about squeezing and pulling up that belly button up towards the spine. 20 seconds. Think about stability. Being a bridge here. Being strong. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering that all the way down towards the mat. Sit back towards your heels. Find your child's pose, but I'm going to give you a different visualization on this today. As I want you to imagine you're like a seed. So if you can take your forehead down to the mat, arms down by your sides. So your shoulders get really relaxed here. Your shoulders can really drop down to the mat. So if you can get your forehead down. And maybe you're just a thought seed. A thought seed in somebody's mind or in your own mind. Maybe you're an actual seed for a tree. And send the breath here, so send it right down towards the belly. So those deep belly breaths. So from there we're going to go on to our sides. So pick a side. I liked being the seed, that was nice. Come down towards the mat. We're going to start with the clams, bend the knees. Heels together, lift them as high as the hips. Find pelvic floor, find TVA. Maybe pressing down on that top hip. Lift, find the glute med around the back side of the bum and lower. Check you're not kind of opening out here with your clams. So you almost want your shoulders kind of just in front of the hips. So shoulders are like if you dip them forward slightly. Just working with connections there. Kind of sometimes I work with shortening some connections. Breathing out left, breathing in lower. The horses have come over now. They're chewing on grass. I don't know if you can hear them munching. They eat really loudly. 4 more, lift and lower. Breathing out left, breathing in lower. And 2. Last one. Straightening out the legs. We're going to take a double leg lift. So straight away, pull in pelvic floor, breathing out, lift, lower. Breathing out, lift, and lower. Now if you want to bring in that rib cage, see if you can keep the rib cage lifted the whole time. So you can almost slide your fingertips underneath that rib cage. And then just see if you can then work at your lift and your lower with the rib cage lifted. So lift, lower. So very small movements really. And you'll notice when you lift and lower that your rib cage wants to lift and lower at the same time. But see if you can hold the rib cage lifted as you lift and lower the legs. And then you're kind of going to get the real work around in the pelvis, around the hips. Pelvic floor in, TVA in. If you actually put your hand there underneath your rib cage and just see if you can hold it up off the hand, off your palm. So very small movements, lift and lower. Breathing out left. Keep working with that pelvic floor. 2 more, left and lower. And lift. Try and keep that rib cage lifted. Very small movements and lower. So from there we'll take a side kick, lift that top leg up level with the hips, flex the foot. Kick that foot forwards, feel the hamstring stretch. Point the toe, bring it back. Flex that foot, kick it forwards, maybe 90 degrees if you can. Point the toe, bring it back. And you can put a bit of pressure here, so go fingertips down with this front hand and bend at the elbow. There's a nice little move in there for the shoulder. Good move for the ankle here, working with your flex and your point. Breathing out, flex. And point. And then, if you want to add in, take that top hand, take it behind the head, drop the elbow, taking that full body twist. Bring the elbow forwards, just that little touch, flex the foot, side kick it, opening out the chest. We've done quite a few twists today. And drop. 2 more, breathing out. Sometimes it can take a few attempts to get the elbow right down towards the floor. This is Roro, my cat. We're going to release and we're going to go over to the other side. Starting with the clams, bend the knees. Lift the feet up level with the hips. Check that your shoulders are coming forwards in front of the hips just slightly. Lift the top knee and lower. Find pelvic floor, find TVA. And lower. Particularly TVA, sometimes you can lose that one a little bit when you go on your side. And when you drop the shoulders down, you should feel the glute med around the side, the back of the bum. Left and lower. Notice what's happening with your feet as well, because sometimes your feet can kind of go floppy, or maybe you're pointing your toes. Just to see if you can find like this little bit of tension in your feet so the arches are slightly engaged. So we're kind of still working with connections right the way down. The heels just kind of roll and kind of roll onto each other there. Breathing out, lift. Breathing in lower, 4 more. 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Straightening out those legs. Gonna go to that double leg lift. You've placed your hand underneath your rib cage. Straight away, see if you can pull at the rib cage. So pull in that pelvic floor, pull in that TVA, and then lifting both legs up. There's a balance in there. And lower it. Lift. And the rib cage will want to lift and lower as you do your legs. Then see if you can get the rib cage still, but then work your lift and lower on your legs. Lift. And lower. Lift. High. And lower. Pulling in that pelvic floor, pulling in that TBA. And we're separating these legs with what's happening with the upper body. So the rib cage gets still and lifted as you lift and lower the legs. So super stretching all around the hips. And lower. 2 more. Lift, rib cage still. And lower. Last one, lift. And lower. Side kick. So lift that top leg up, level with the hips. Kick that foot forwards or to the side, whichever you think about it. Point the toe, bring it back. Really exaggerate your flexing point here. So working into the ankle. Maybe you feel it in the calf muscle when you go into your point. Pull in that pelvic floor, pull in that TVA. Relax to point. Pressing in with that hand in front, bending at the elbow. If you want to add in hand behind the head, add in that chest stretch so if you can drop that elbow down. Bring the elbow forwards. Breathing out into your chest stretches and your hamstring stretches. Full body stretching there. 2 more. See if you can get to that 90 degrees on those hamstrings. Last one. And release. Then we're going to come on to our backs. I'm just going to get a quick time check. And then... Oh, no. Not that. So onto your back. Perhaps a little pelvic tilt, find neutral spine. Relax your shoulders. Length at the back of the neck, so chin slightly dipping towards the chest. And maybe you need to fold over the mat to get that, that's fine. Or take a little cushion. Or in my case, a rock. Whatever you need, just to get that length there at the back of the neck. So we're going to go for our classic 5 sets. So just begin with, take a couple of toe taps, just set the hips. Check the hips as still as you do your toe taps. So pelvic floor in, TVA in. Then think about the right angle behind the knee, knees and feet hip width apart. So just check yourself in, you're neutral in your spine. Pelvic floor in, TVA in. We've got right angles behind the knees and our hips are still. Shoulders are relaxed. We've got that length at the back of the neck. So we're going to go 4 toe taps, 8 pulses, and then an 8-second hold. Ready? And 4. And 3, hips still. And 2. And 1. Lift the head, the shoulders, look towards the knees. Pulse the arms. 8, 7, 6. Think about the TVA. Pulling in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide the hands up towards the knees. Ribs to hips. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Here we go again then. 4 toe taps. If you want, you're up in tabletops. 4. and 3. Work this imprint now. And 2 and 1. Lift and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straightening out the legs. Reach towards the knees. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. 4 toe taps. Shoulders relaxed. 4, 3, and 2. Keep imprinting. 1. Lift and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straightening the legs. Reach towards the knees, ribs to hips. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release to tabletop. 4 toe taps. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Keep working with your imprint. Think TVA. Lift and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straightening out the legs. Reach. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Last time. 4 toe taps. Pulling in pelvic floor. Pulling in TVA. And 3, and 2, and 1. Lift and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straightening out the legs. Reach towards the knees. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Take a full body stretch. Arms over the head, straightening out the legs. Point the toes, scrunch up the fists, press the backs of the knees into the floor, squeeze the glutes, pull in your tummy muscles, press your shoulders into the mat, scrunch up your face. Take a big deep breath in. Breathing out, just let everything go. Bending knees then. We're going to go into that single leg stretch, just sliding one heel away, and then bend, bringing it back up. Slide, bring it back up. If you've got your hips still on that, so maybe hands on hips, check they don't tilt side to side. Your shoulders are nicely relaxed. You want a little bit more with this. Tabletop it. Imprint. Single leg stretch. Just press and push one heel away. Try and keep the knees, the feet hip width there. Try not to let them drift over to that midline. If you want a little bit more than that, arms up towards the sky. And then as the outside hand comes round down towards the heel, inside to the knee. As you switch it over, you're almost pulling your shoulder down into a side bend. Outside hand down towards the foot, inside to the knee. Coming around, there's a lovely little side bend in there. Breathing out, reach. Try and keep that control in there. And try not to let those knees drift across the midline. Pelvic floor pulled in. TVA in. Breathing out. 3 more. Bending the knees, arms up towards the ceiling, then or sky. Breathing out, arms go over the head. Keep the chest, the rib cage down. Reach them over the head, dip the thumbs into the floor and then lift. And again, breathing out, arms over the head, nice and straight. Touch them and touch the floor and then bring them back. Now kind of work at pressing the shoulder blades down as you do that. Take them back. And then lifting them back up. Because you'll find that the chest wants to lift here. Just work at pulling in the core now, pelvic floor TVA, and keeping the chest down. If you want a little bit more, tabletop it. Arms over the head, hold your tabletops. A little bit more than that. So that double leg stretch. Arms over the head, straightening out the legs. And then coming back to center. Then breathing out into your extensions. Same amount of imprint used on your 5 sets of the 100. 4. Keep pulling in that TVA, pelvic floor. 3. Breathing out. 2. Last one. And then a little bit different today is I want you to take a glute stretch from that point. So just lifting the one leg over just above the knee. And immediately you feel like there's a bit of a stretch in the glute, but you can press that bent knee here, the front one, just gently pushing that away. It's a bit of a lower back kind of glute connection stretch. Put a gentle bit of a push in there. Try not to hold the breath. Keep the hips square. Then release, and then you're just going to let that top foot, that's the one that's lifted up on the other knee, drop it and drop it over to the side. So there's that. You're in your glute stretch and your top foot that's kind of up above the knee. Just let it drop and press down into the mat. And then the opposite arm, take it over, so it's like your kind of full body spine twist. Take the eye gaze to the opposite side, to the knee. Really nice release around the hips. Couple of deep breaths. Hi.
We're interrupting you.
It's okay. Then recenter, and then we're going to go to the other side. So first of all, find your glute stretch. So bring your foot up just above the knee. Then pressing away. Push away that knee. Square out the hips because they kind of want to shimmy in there. So keep the hips square. Pull in pelvic floor. Should feel that nice glute med stretch. Also quite good for the lower back, this one. So a couple of breaths here. Pushing that knee away. And then just going to let that drop. So bring that foot and let it drop across. Just slowly lifting up the hips. Bring the arms up over the head. So we're going into that shoulder bridge. Squeezing the glutes here. Get the length of the back of the neck. Take a big deep breath in. Breathing out, bring the arms back down. Slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, lower yourself down. So it's just a little massage there for the spine. And then we're going to just take chin up towards chest. Rock yourself up. Seated position. Rocking yourself up, and just in this position we're going to take some little rollbacks. So C-shape the spine, pull in the core, pull in pelvic floor. We're holding on to the shins, breathing out then, rock back, rocking it forwards to your hover, pulling in that core and then going again. Just rock back, come back to your hover. And the trick is to hold yourself on that hover. Now, if you want a little bit more, rock back, opening out, stretch the hamstrings to your full rollover. You've got to keep the control. And then when you get to the top, you can try teaser. So 2 challenges in there. Teaser at the top, so straightening the legs out in the top. So it's all hamstring work. If you're in teaser, shoulders back, lift at the chest. and rock back. So if you can go for a rollover, straighten the legs. Again, working with the hamstrings. So rock back, lift up, shoulders back, lift up the chest. Work with the teaser at the top. Super hard in the balance, the teaser. You can go for half a teaser as well, as always the option in there. Bending the knees. Or full teaser. Rock back, try once more. Opening out if you want to. Rock back. Half teaser. Pulling in that core, pelvic floor, or full teaser, whichever you prefer. Couple of deep breaths. Shoulders back, lift up the chest. Releasing that down. Facing this way then. There's been a few challenges in today's class. I don't know how you felt with that. Last move, spine twist. So index fingers underneath the chin, thumbs into the sternum, breathing in, get nice and tall. Breathing out, just take that really slow, steady twist, look across one of your knees. Breathing in at the center, breathing out for your twist. And if I was there, I would come around and just gently place my hand on your lower back, just to see if I can get you a little bit taller. So just imagine there, somebody's there, helping you lengthen. Placing one hand on the heart and the other hand on top of it. And again, I just want you to think here of something that brings you joy or makes you laugh or makes you feel good. And just fuse it there into your heart. Like your seed of your thoughts. Place it there like a seed. And then you just know that it's there whenever you need it.